Close your eyes for a moment and picture this. It's the late 1990s. A nightclub in Lagos is packed, the air heavy with sweat and excitement. Suddenly, a beat drops, drums racing, guitars twanging, and voices shouting, "Coupe Bibamba." The whole place explodes, feet stomp, hips shake, hands clap, no one can sit still. Now imagine that same song playing in Paris, in Douala, in Nairobi, in New York, everywhere. The same reaction. The world is dancing. At the center of this global storm is one man. His hair dyed bright colors, his colors sparkling, his smile wide and full of joy. His name is Awilo Longomba. Awilo was not just another musician. He was a movement. He created songs you could not simply listen to. You had to move. He carried the heartbeat of Africa in his drums, and he gave that heartbeat to the world. But how did this drummer from Kinshasa become the king of Soukous? The man who turned every stage into a carnival and every song into an anthem. This is the life story of Awilo Longomba, a story of rhythm, reinvention, and relentless energy.
Everybody,
Awilo Longomba was born on May 5, 1962, in Kinshasa, the capital of what is today the Democratic Republic of Congo. He was not born into an ordinary family. His father, Vicky Longomba, was already a legend. Vicky was one of the founding members of the Tout Puissant OK Jazz, a famous band led by Franco Luambo. In Congo, OK Jazz was more than a group. It was an institution. It helped define the sound of Congolese rumba for generations. So from the very beginning, Awilo lived and breathed music. His home was filled with rehearsals, jam sessions, and visits from great musicians. His older brother, Awilo Longomba, also followed in their father's footsteps and became a respected singer. Years later, Awilo's nephew would continue the family tradition as the Longombas, a popular duo in Kenya. Music ran through the family's blood. While other children played football in the streets, Awilo was fascinated by rhythms and melodies around him. He listened closely to the voices of Franco, Taboulé, and Papa Wemba. Those giants shaped his early dreams. But although the environment was full of music, his path was not straightforward. His father, like many parents, worried about the instability of the music business. Yet Awilo's passion was unstoppable. He was determined to carve out his own destiny in the sound. Most fans today know Awilo as flamboyant frontman, but before the colorful outfits and wild dance moves, he was a quiet figure at the back of stage. Awilo began his professional career as a drummer. In the 1980s, he became one of Kinshasa's most talented percussionists. He played with several groups, including La Nouvelle Génération and Viva La Musica. As a drummer, he was the heartbeat of every performance. Behind the kit, he learned discipline. He learned how rhythm controls the energy of a crowd. He also learned how to listen, how to create space for singers and guitarists, and how to lock a band into a groove. These years were his training ground. He mastered timing, precision, and endurance. But deep inside, he felt he had more to give. He wasn't just content to sit at the back. His personality was too big. His energy was too wild. He wanted to be in front. By the early 1990s, Awilo made a bold decision. He stepped out from behind the drums and began to sing. This move was rare. Few drummers dared to become frontmen, but Awilo was different. He was determined to reinvent himself completely. In 1995, Awilo released his debut album titled Moto Pamba. This was his declaration to the world that, and I quote, "I am not just a drummer, I'm an artist, I am a leader," end of quote. The album was a fresh explosion of soukous, modernized for a new generation. It combined traditional Congolese rhythms with polished production that appealed to audience far beyond Kinshasa. Songs from Moto Pamba turned Awilo into a star almost overnight. Fans were amazed by his transformation. The man they once knew as a drummer had become a singer, dancer, and an electrifying showman. The success of Moto Pamba won him continental recognition, including Kora Awards for Best Artist of Central Africa. It was proof that his gamble had paid off. He had stepped into the spotlight, and the spotlight loved him. Then came the turning point. In 1998, Awilo released his second album, titled Coupe Bibamba. The title track was more than just a hit. It was a phenomenon. Coupe Bibamba spread like wildfire across Africa and into the diaspora. The song had everything: irresistible rhymes, infectious melody, and catchy chants that anyone could sing. Whether you spoke Lingala, Yoruba, Swahili, or French, you could shout Coupe Bibamba and feel part of the groove. The track also carried messages about life, urging people to value education and faith. It entertained, but it also inspired. In Nigeria, Coupe Bibamba became a club anthem. In Cameroon, it was blasted from taxis and market stalls. In Paris, it became a soundtrack for African pride. Everywhere, people danced. Everywhere, Awilo's name was on their lips. This album transformed him from a regional star into a global ambassador of African music. Awilo Longomba knew that one hit song was never enough. If Coupe Bibamba had opened the world's doors, the 2000s would prove whether he could keep that momentum alive. In 2001, he released the album Kafu Kafu. It was packed with irresistible rhythms and infectious hooks. Tracks like Kafu Kafu and Carolina became instant favorites, especially among the youth. The songs were playful, energetic, and full of the kind of melodies that stuck in your head for weeks. Then in 2003, he dropped another album titled Mandongo. Once again, Awilo delivered a project that was impossible to ignore. The title track Mondongo became a dance floor favorite across Africa and Europe. He blended humor, high energy, and a signature sound that no one else could replicate. By this time, Awilo's music wasn't just played in clubs, it was everywhere, at weddings, birthdays, cultural festivals, and even school parties. Whenever people wanted to celebrate, Awilo was part of the soundtrack. He also became a symbol of Congolese diaspora's pride. For those living in Europe and America, his music reminded them of home. In African capitals like Lagos, Douala, Nairobi, and Abidjan, his songs were more than entertainment, they were culture. During this period, Awilo collected multiple awards and recognitions. The Kora Awards continued to honor him, and his reputation as Africa's most electrifying performer only grew. The 2000s cemented Awilo Longomba as not just a hit maker, but as one of the continent's true icons of joy. As the 2010s arrived, African music scene began to shift. A new sound, Afrobeats, started rising out of Nigeria and Ghana. Artists like Wizkid, Davido, and Burna Boy were building a wave that blended traditional African styles with hip-hop. For many older stars, this was a difficult transition. Their music was celebrated, but younger audiences were moving to the new sound. Yet Awilo, true to his spirit, refused to be left behind. Instead of resisting, he rebranded and embraced the change. He understood that music is about evolution, and he had always been a master of reinvention. In 2017, he made a bold move with the release of Bondelele, a collaboration with Nigerian powerhouse Yemi Alade. The track was explosive, a perfect mix of Soukous roots and her Afrobeat style. Yemi Alade's youthful energy blended seamlessly with Awilo's experience, and together they created a cross-generational hit. He didn't stop there. Awilo went on to work with other Nigerian stars like Tiwa Savage, P-Square. These collaborations introduced him to younger fans who may not have grown up with Coupe Bibamba but could now discover the legend through their favorite Afrobeat artist. The influence was not just one way. Many Afrobeat performers openly acknowledge Awilo's impact on their stagecraft, the high-energy shows, the colorful costumes, the emphasis on dance. Much of this came directly from the trail Awilo had blazed years before. Through collaboration, Awilo proved he wasn't a relic of the past. He was still relevant, still vibrant, and still capable of making the world dance.
Come on, everybody Awilo! Oh yeah! Come on! Hey baby!
If Awilo Longomba's records made people dance, his live performances made them believe. From the very beginning, he built a reputation as one of the greatest stage performers in African music. His concerts were more than shows, they were spectacles. Picture this: bright costumes, sequin jackets, dancers in perfect choreography, and Awilo himself moving with energy of a man half his age. His concerts were designed to keep the audience on their feet from the first beat to the last. In Paris, he sold out venues like Zenith, where African music legends are celebrated. In London, he drew massive crowds from the diaspora community. Across Africa, from Lagos to Nairobi to Douala, his shows were a guarantee of full houses. At festivals, Awilo was a headliner. He graced stages and events like the Congo Music Festival, African Nations Cup celebrations, and international world music festivals across Europe and America. Whenever he went, one thing was certain: people would leave drenched in sweat but smiling from ear to ear. His tours stretch across continents. He performed in the United States, Canada, France, Belgium, the UK, South Africa, Cameroon, Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and many more. What made his shows unforgettable was his connection to the audience. He didn't just perform for the crowd, he performed with them. He often called fans onto the stage, teaching them dances, laughing with them, making them part of the moment. People left his concerts with stories to tell, memories to treasure, and the certainty that they just had witnessed one of the greatest entertainers Africa had ever produced. It was through these tours and festivals that Awilo carried the flag of the Congolese music across the globe, and with every performance, he reminded the world of the power of African rhythms. Behind the glittering jackets, the unstoppable dance moves, and the roaring crowds, Awilo Longomba is a man who values simplicity and family. Though he has lived much of his life in the public eye, Awilo has always been private when it comes to his home. He is married and a father, but unlike many stars, he has never been one to chase scandals or headlines. To those close to him, he is not just the king of the dance floor. He is a loving family man, a proud Congolese, and someone who never forgot his roots. But Awilo's legacy stretched far beyond his personal life. He has become a cultural ambassador, carrying the sound of Congo to the rest of the world. For decades, Congolese music has influenced Africa, from rumba to soukous to ndombolo. Awilo made sure that influence never faded. For the Congolese diaspora scattered across the globe, Awilo is more than a musician. He is a symbol of identity and pride. His songs bring back memories of home, of childhood, of family gatherings and celebrations. For many, hearing Coupe Bibamba or Carolina is like being transported instantly back to Kinshasa, even if they are thousands of miles away. He has also inspired generations of artists. Stars like Fally Ipupa and Ferregola often acknowledge the path he helped shape. In West Africa, Afrobeat giants such as Burna Boy, Davido, Yemi Alade have drawn from his boundless energy and his ability to fuse music with performances. Awilo taught African musicians that being an artist is more than just singing. It is about showmanship. It's about creating an experience where the audience feels alive. His flashy lifestyle, his daring costumes, and his ability to reinvent himself have influenced how modern African stars think about stage presence today. Beyond the stage, his contribution has been recognized internationally. He has been awarded and celebrated across continents, but perhaps his biggest award is the love of the people. From Kinshasa to Lagos, from London to Paris, from Nairobi to New York, his music continues to unite people who may not share the same language or culture, but share the same joy when the beat drops. And what makes Awilo remarkable is that even after decades in the industry, his energy has not faded. He still performs with the same fire, still dances with the same passion, still smiles with the same joy. His legacy is not just in the songs he recorded. It is in the way he made Africa dance. It is in the way he showed that African music can be global without losing its soul. It is in the way he turned every performance into a celebration of life. When the history of African music is written, Awilo Longomba will stand tall as one of the most unforgettable legends. A man who carried the rhythms of Congo to the world. A man whose music will outlive him. Awilo Longomba is not just a star. He is a legacy in motion. And so, the story of Awilo Longomba is not just a story of a musician. It is the story of rhythm, of joy, of an artist who carried Congo's heartbeat to the world. From the son of a legendary family in Kinshasa, to a drummer turned singer, to an international superstar, Awilo proved that passion and creativity can break every barrier. He gave us songs that made us laugh, made us move, made us forget our troubles. He showed that music is not just a sound, but an expression that unites people across borders. Decades later, his name still echoes in clubs, in festivals, in weddings, and in the hearts of millions who grew up listening and dancing to his beats. His energy, his stagecraft, and his fearless style continues to inspire new generations of African artists. Awilo Longomba is a living proof that legends are not born. They are made on stage, one song at a time, one dance at a time, one unforgettable moment at a time. And as long as people keep dancing, Awilo's legacy will never fade. This has been the story of Awilo Longomba, the man, the music, and the legend. If you like content like this, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thanks for watching and see you on the next.
Oh yeah!